Alex, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing great. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. Obviously, you have this amazing collaboration you got going with Crown Royal. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, just pumped to be a part of the roster, to be honest. This NFL Legends roster and partnering with Crown Royal. Kind of celebrating their fifth year as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, which is cool. And then doing some awesome stuff for fans. They have this ridiculous semi truck called the Crown Royal Rig that's going to be making stops at 10 cities, and it is coming to Kansas City this weekend for the big game with the Ravens. It's going to be in La O, and fans got a chance to come out and check out the rig, obviously, but they got this cool thing with the Crown Royal, the Royal Seat, where fans can win premium ticket upgrades at Arrowhead, which is awesome. And so obviously can enjoy some cocktails. And then unfortunately I'm back to working on Sundays, so I won't be there, but fans will have to settle for Tony Gonzalez and Taylor Rooks, which I'm sure they won't be disappointed. But just some fun stuff, obviously, for fans to engage in. And then more importantly, Tony and Taylor are going to be packing purple bags for the military, which is such a awesome thing that obviously Crown Royal has been taking part in for a lot of years. So fun to be partnering with them all the way around.
Definitely, and obviously Tony Gonzalez. I mean, that's they'll be happy to see him as well.
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay, I guess.
And Alex, obviously, you have a great connection with the Kansas City fans. Just how do you describe it, like over the years, and how much love you get from the community still?
Oh man, it's overwhelming to be honest. I think for a couple reasons. Listen, the fandom in Kansas City, the fandom culture is so unique, right? Like it's so loyal. I see Kansas Cityans all over the country, all over the world, and it never leaves them, right? It never leaves them. And I think that is obviously so amazing to have that kind of loyalty. And for me, again, coming from, getting traded from San Francisco, uh, coming to Kansas City, and obviously the state of the franchise at that point, um, to feel the love, in some ways discarded from the Bay Area, from the Niners, and then to have been so warmly welcomed. And then I think to have been part of a culture change, right? Like to have played a small role in that is really special. And then to see obviously uh, the consistency into the heights, what this franchise has done, right? Like it's just historic and unprecedented, um, and certainly the model of the NFL. And so again, I think um, to have been there, to have been a part of it in some little piece of it, obviously is incredibly fulfilling. I think certainly what you're trying to achieve, obviously as a professional.
Definitely, and obviously, just to pick up on what you were saying, and everything that you've done in terms of your career, especially in Kansas City. I got to go back to 2014, and everyone keeps bringing up 2014, the last time the team started 0-2.
Yeah.
Just curious, you were obviously the quarterback on that team. Andy Reid, head coach, Travis
Yep.
Kelce's
Yep.
there as well. Do you believe? I'm just assuming Andy Reid's message is the same now as it was back then when you were starting.
Yeah, I think it will be a little bit, and I think this is obviously kind of new territory. You said it for the core of this team that's been together for the last several years, right? They just haven't experienced anything like this early in the season. Um, but this is a team that has known struggle. Make no mistake, like it's not like it's been easy for them, the last several years. They do know adversity. And I think Andy will be preaching the same message, which I mean, I remember the one year we started 1-5, right? And he felt like the sky was falling. Um, and I'll never forget coming in, the day after the game and Andy just saying like there was no panic, right? Like we all, myself included, I need to coach a little better. I need to call plays a little better, right? Like all our coaches do. You guys need to prepare a little better. We need to execute a little better, right? Like there wasn't the panic. There wasn't this like, we don't need to do anything crazy. And I remember how reassuring that was and how rare that is. And listen, I've been around a lot of head coaches. I've been around a lot of coaches, coaching staffs, and to have that kind of resolve when the pressure, I mean, there's immense pressure, right, in the NFL, and especially when you aren't playing to your ability and you aren't getting the wins and it mounts. And I think we see it all over the NFL, right? People do strange things and that's just not Andy. And again, I think he's going to narrow their focus, right? He's going to get them back to fundamentals. Um, and I think it's going to show up, right? Like I think again, it's cliche, but it is the little things they do add up. I think you're going to see this team go back to kind of basics a little bit, and I think a lot of that starts up front, to be honest, right? As a media member, we love to talk about quarterback play, but I think we're going to get back to like O and D line play, right? Can we control the line of scrimmage? Can we win there first?
Definitely agreed. And obviously, you have the big matchup this weekend against the Ravens. We're going to have the Crown Royal rig out there, as
Man,
you're just saying. It's going to be Tony
yep.
Gonzalez, Taylor Rooks. So I'm just curious for your thoughts of this matchup. Two 1-2 teams. How crucial, who is it more crucial for to get this victory and not drop to 1-3?
Listen, that's so hard to say. I think both of these teams have huge aspirations. Um, I think when you start looking at the division, though, and their road to the playoffs, certainly I think Baltimore's is I don't want to say easier, but not as competitive. I think given the landscape of their division, they could lose and still obviously be right in the thick of it. I don't know if that's the case for the Chiefs, right? Obviously, with the Chargers out to the hot start, Denver is a really, really good football team as well. It will be very competitive, right? So these early games, I think they will have consequences not just for the division, but the potential wild card as well down the line. Um, and again, so they're both feeling the pressure, no doubt. Again, to obviously to win this week. I think even more importantly, this is a bit of a rivalry, right? That these two teams. I mean, I feel like the last 5, 6 years, it has come down to one play late in the game. I was fortunate enough to be at this game last year, the kickoff game of the NFL, and obviously it came down to a toenail. Um, it's two of the most exciting, I mean, maybe the most exciting quarterbacks in football. Obviously, incredibly talented rosters, and again, they seem like they play each other every single year. And obviously, an amazing game for Crown Royal to pick. To have the rig to come out and to celebrate this because I think there will be a lot of eyeballs around the country watching this because they just never seem to fail to deliver on an unbelievable football game.
Definitely agree with that. And obviously, you were just talking about the quarterback matchup. I'm curious from your experience, does that ever really go into your mind? Does that, like, do you ever think about, oh, I'm going against the other team's quarterback? Because everyone else that's watching the game, they're making a big deal out of it. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson when they're not really matching up against each other. But
Yeah.
do you feel like that really matters in terms of the actual quarterbacks playing?
No, there's a competitiveness there for without a doubt, right? Like, again, it's as much attention as the media puts on it. Um, as quarterbacks, you always know, the wins and losses and how much credit you get and or blame is always kind of exaggerated, and so you always do know they're going to be talking about your record head to head always, right? Like how'd you stack up? And Patrick has gotten the better of virtually every quarterback, come playoff time. And certainly Lamar and Josh, his contemporaries on the AFC side have had some success in the regular season, but haven't been able to get it done in the postseason. And so yeah, both these guys want to beat each other. No doubt. But you said it, they don't get to play each other, right? Like they're playing their um, opposing defenses. And so I think obviously the Chiefs will be happy to be back at Arrowhead. They'll have the crowd noise. It's such an unbelievable home field advantage. Hopefully the D line obviously can take advantage. Spags with all the movement and disguise that he likes to do. And again, the Chiefs offense, right? Hopefully get Worthy back. Getting a little healthier, that young offensive line, especially the left side's getting more experience. And again, this is a kind of a reeling Ravens defense right now. Really talented defense, but it's, obviously has not played well these first 3 weeks. And we kind of saw this last season with them, right? They started off this season and again through the first 8 games didn't play well at all and were able to get better and really flip it. And all of a sudden, come the end of the year, we're one of the best defenses. And so, can they do it again? Right. And again, I know that this is a prideful group, right? Like this Ravens culture. They have a history, obviously, of playing pretty good defense. And so, they're obviously looking to rebound, and get better from those first 3 weeks.
Definitely are. And, I have to mention because, obviously they just made the announcement a couple days ago, but you are first time eligible. nominee for the Hall of Fame. I'm just curious, from yesterday, but what do you think about when you hear that, and what runs through your mind?
Yeah, listen, I didn't. I paid no attention to that. It seems crazy, Ed. More importantly, it was really excited to be honest for one of my favorite teammates of all time, that I got drafted with. That's eligible as well, and he will no doubt be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that is Frank Gore. Just an amazing, amazing teammate, amazing person, an unbelievable competitor. And to see the career he had as a running back to go play 16 years, third on the all-time rushing list, the guy is just a stud of studs. And so to see him be eligible, and no doubt be going in will be very, very cool.
Definitely. And Alex, I have one more for you. And, obviously, like I said, you had an amazing career as well. And I do want to bring up this moment because it kind of coincides with what's happening this season. The Chiefs are playing on Thanksgiving. They're playing against the Cowboys. Everyone's, going to be looking forward to it because it's the annual game.
Yep.
You had a amazing performance in the 2020 Thanksgiving game
Yeah.
against Dallas, a dominant performance for Washington. What do you remember about not just that game, but also that moment? Because it was your first start, I believe, in 2 years.
Yeah. Listen, to get to play on Thanksgiving, if you're a football fan, an NFL fan, it doesn't get any better. Um, and it's funny if you don't play for one of those organizations, like it's not an opportunity that necessarily will come along, maybe ever, right? And to get the chance to do it. And again, for me in those circumstances, never thought I'd play football again. Find myself back in a jersey with a helmet and cleats on, and then to be playing on Thanksgiving Day, obviously against the Dallas Cowboys, who certainly when I was playing for Washington, that's obviously a big division rival. And so to go out and play well. And then just given the audience, right? These are the most watched games of the year, because of the tradition, and it's just something about Thanksgiving, obviously in football that go together so well. And so it'll be fun. There's a little bit of a rivalry, obviously, here with the Chiefs and the Cowboys going back to the Dallas roots. Obviously the organization started in Dallas, and there's a little something there as well. So it'll be fun to watch.
Definitely will be. Alex, thank you so much for your time. And obviously, everyone that's going to be enjoying Crown Royal this weekend, they'll be thinking about you as well.
Yeah, Lotto, go check it out. They'll have a ton of fun. Ed, thank you so much.
All right, guys, thank you.